E3 is fast approaching, and that means a lot of rumors. Today we're going to talk about the ones that probably won't pan out. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, E3 2019, rumors that aren't coming true. Number 10 is an E3 Nintendo Direct schedule that was supposedly leaked from Nintendo. However, Nintendo has never been quite as careless with, spelling and grammar and pressing space like 9 times in between. It's obviously not made by somebody who knows what they're doing. Not even a lot of point in detailing it. Also, there's a game on it called Yoshi's Flipping Island. Like, do you really think they're gonna be like, Yoshi's Flipping Island, yo? It's over, man. I don't know. That seems like something somebody would say who would actually say flipping instead of the other F word. What does make me sad is I would very much like something called Star Fox Lilat System made by Retro Studios, but I have sincere doubts that an F-Zero would ever come out that was developed by Platinum Games. There's just not enough places to put guns on the F-Zero racing machines. It's that simple. Number 9, there's been various rumors that Cyberpunk would be playable at E3, and this is one that's pretty, disappointing for me. I won't be at E3, but if they were showing it off in a playable state just for anybody to jump in and do, I would guess that maybe a release date wasn't far away. I'm not saying it's not possible we won't hear a release date, but still. CD Projekt Red has confirmed that they will be showing it to everybody. You'll be able to go over to their booth if you're at E3 and, actually check out everything that everybody else can. And there's also some behind closed doors showings that I don't know exactly what they're going to entail. I can tell you that no matter what, we're very excited to hear whatever it is. Please give us that Cyberpunk 2077 information, CD Projekt Red. Number 8, there was a rumor there was going to be a price cut on the Xbox One S. However, keeping in mind that it's $250 now, and that's actually really good for a game console, even this late in its life cycle. Is it possible we could see the discless version go down from $249 to something like $200? Maybe, but probably not. There's really no indication anything like this is going to happen. There was also a rumor the original Switch was going to be reduced in price, but Nintendo's probably going to be launching what they're calling Nintendo Switch Lite. At least that's what we're hearing. So we probably won't see a price drop in the original Switch price. It very likely just means something different. Also, let's go ahead and say, whatever the price at this point, we're not really dealing with a massively expensive console generation. So, certainly we would welcome price drops at any point. I'm sure there's nobody out there who can relate to wanting to save money on anything. It's not exactly like the stuff grows on trees, but we're probably not going to see any massive changes in any of the console's main pricing schemes. Number 7, are you worried about there being a new Soulja Boy console? Maybe one that Soulja Boy might run out onto the stage at some point and announce, prior to being carried away by security, of course, because I have sincere doubts they would allow that after the first Soulja Boy generation of consoles. As far as we know, there aren't any new ones. We say this kind of half-jokingly. I'm not really 100% sure anybody was expecting it. And if anybody has a positive expectation for it, like they want another Soulja Boy console, I want to know what planet you came from and how to get there. Because it sounds like it's acceptable to be drunk on that planet 24/7. Number 6, there's always rumors floating around that there's going to be an Xbox handheld, and these were of course made a little bit more interesting a few years ago when Phil Spencer was talking about how they had roughly designed a Xbox handheld at some point in the past, while sort of passive-aggressively saying the Switch was cool and all, but they were really, focused on the TV at the time. I always thought that was really funny, but it's also always sort of reminded people that there isn't an Xbox handheld, and because there actually isn't one of those, it makes people wonder if there might be one of those. It's been 2 years since they, tried to act like the Switch was innovative, but maybe not mainstream, because that Switch done took over the living room, folks. Maybe old Phil's thinking about how that maybe wouldn't be the worst market to get into. They've also talked about the idea that an Xbox handheld might be something to stream games from home, or maybe a small stick like a Fire TV that you'd plug into somebody else's TV and stream games from home. I don't know, there's a lot of interesting ways that you could do that, but I'd say it's a really safe bet not expecting it. Number 5, of course, there are rumors that the new Metroid Prime 4 gameplay will be shown. but I want to remind people that they basically started that project over, and it wasn't that long ago. I'm sure there's some people that missed that piece of news when it did happen, and that's kind of why we're saying this one here. I know that there is a lot of expectation for this game. I personally would love to see it at E3. That would be a big deal for me. Any Metroid development, really. But a new Metroid Prime especially, those are good games. However, the game is apparently very way off. They posted that development update back in January that starts off with, "We deeply understand the high anticipation that the Metroid Prime series fans have for the title," which, let's just go ahead and say, "we deeply understand" are never words to expect like what you want to happen to be the thing that happens next. But I mean, the game is being made by Retro Studios now. They restarted development from the beginning, and when we understand the fact that this was a quality decision, I can't fault them. It sucks a lot, we probably won't hear a lot, but I'd rather have a better game, and I think everybody would. Number 4, some people expect the PS5 announcement to happen at E3, and, well, Sony is not even doing a presentation at E3. Now, there are going to be PS4 announcements from third-party developers, most likely, but very unlikely that we'll see any from any first-party or second-party studios like Naughty Dog or Kojima Productions. Although we did get that pretty wild Death Stranding trailer that, again, I mean, kind of made things a little more obvious, but also the opposite. It has this amazing ability to do just that. But given they're not doing that, they pretty much have their release schedule out there. They know what's going on for the holidays this year, for Black Friday and all that. I kind of doubt we're going to see a lot from them. I do expect that we will hear something about the PS5 because it's probably coming next year, but not at E3. Number 3 is Half-Life 3. Now, would this be cool? Of course. Would it be the surprise of the century? Yes, very much. Would it kind of acknowledge that as a series, Half-Life was just left to kind of die? Yeah, it would be a big course correction to make a game for Valve. And I mean, I would like that. I think a number of people would really like that. It'd be a lot of fun, Half-Life 3, you know? However, there's probably no chance at all there's going to be a Half-Life 3. I mean, unless Valve like suddenly becomes Beyonce or something and just decides to start dropping things without any warning. We've not had any indication there's something coming regarding this game. And there's going to be people who dispute that. Don't listen to them. It's called wishful thinking, and believe me, I've been there with Half-Life 3 before. It's not a fun path because it always ends in the same place without Half-Life 3. Number 2, weirdly enough, there's been a lot of rumors about Grand Theft Auto 6 being announced. However, there's literally no chance. Grand Theft Auto's profitability has been the subject of several videos for us, and Grand Theft Auto 5, along with its online component, Grand Theft Auto Online, are still A, selling like hotcakes, and B, selling tons of microtransactions. This thing has made more money than any other entertainment property ever, and it's a single title in a single franchise. To top that off, they've got Red Dead Online going on now, which is most likely doing similar numbers, probably not as big. It's not the premier series, but man oh man do people like Red Dead Redemption 2. And although there have been some pretty hilarious bugs with the online component, I'm looking at you, Dead Horse Piles. There's no reason to think it's going to be anything other than a large success, so my guess is they're probably a little ways off on another Grand Theft Auto. And I think anybody who's sort of paid attention to the business model of Rockstar changing over the last few years would probably say something very similar to that. And finally, number 1, if you were looking forward to seeing Elder Scrolls 6 or even Starfield at E3, Bethesda was like, nope, not happening. I'll quote Todd Howard directly, "Before anyone asks, be patient. It's gonna be a long time. It's not something we're gonna be talking about at E3, either of those games this year." He said this at PAX East recently. Thanks, by the way, Todd. Hey, while you're not talking about these games publicly, why not switch over to Unreal Engine or any other engine? You're not gonna do that though. You're gonna use that same old crappy engine. We know. And a quick bonus for you, the Mad Box, which Slightly Mad Studios, the creators of Project Cars, had announced and trademarked, is probably not something we'll be hearing about because they withdrew that trademark. Keeping in mind the trademark was filed in Europe, where there's a developer in France called Mad Box, which was going to be the name of the console, and Slightly Mad came to an agreement that might be confusing for people. So they withdrew the trademark, and I'm sure they'll probably refile it with some other name. That being said, we aren't going to see this thing, most likely. Now, what things are you looking forward to seeing at E3? Leave us a comment, let us know what you think. Click like if you like this video, and if you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at FalconHero. We'll see you next time, right here on gameranx.